In a world obsessed with noise, status updates, opinions, endless self-promotion, there's a rare magnetic power in those who do not speak, but still command attention. How do they do it? They live a philosophy as old as time, refined by warriors, emperors, and sages. Stoicism. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about playing games. It's about becoming someone so grounded, so composed, so self-assured that the world feels your presence before you even enter the room. True value doesn't beg to be seen. It reveals itself through action, presence, discipline, and unshakable principles. This video is your guide, not to perform, but to embody, to live so fully, so authentically, that you never have to say a single word to show your worth. Let's begin. The greatest leaders in history didn't need to shout. They didn't need to explain. Their very presence commanded the room. Marcus Aurelius, one of the wisest emperors to ever live, wrote daily not to impress the world, but to remind himself of who he was and how he must carry himself. Your presence is your power. It's in the way you enter a room, with shoulders relaxed, head held high, eyes calm and focused. You're not trying to be noticed. You simply are. Your energy speaks volumes before your lips ever move. Your movements intentional, your attention focused, your demeanor calm. In a world that constantly seeks validation, you radiate self-assurance by needing none. People feel it. They lean in. They wonder, who is this person who doesn't chase attention, yet draws it naturally? Don't underestimate the energy you project. Practice walking slowly, deliberately. Speak only when your words add value. Let others talk while you listen, not out of passivity, but out of strength. The Stoics taught that greatness isn't about performance, but presence. Be where you are, completely. When you look someone in the eye, when you stand firm without shifting nervously, when your silence is rooted in purpose, people remember. You don't have to prove yourself. Just embody your values and the world will notice, even in silence. Powerful people are not those who dominate others. They are those who govern themselves. The Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Emotions are not enemies, but wild horses. Left untamed, they can destroy you. But when trained, they carry you farther than you could imagine. How do you respond when you're insulted? When things don't go your way? When anxiety creeps in or anger flares up? The weak lash out. The wise breathe deeply. Mastery begins with awareness. Recognize the emotion. Name it. Don't run from it. Observe it like a disciplined warrior observes the battlefield. Choose your next move not out of reaction, but from clarity. The calmest person in the room often holds the most power, not because they control others, but because they control themselves. When others scream, you remain still. When chaos reigns, you anchor the room with your presence. Your worth becomes visible not in moments of ease, but in the storms. When you stay composed under pressure, when you respond with grace in the face of disrespect, when you delay gratification to serve a higher goal, that's when your real power shines. Emotional self-mastery isn't just stoic, it's revolutionary. And it shows the world you are not owned by circumstances. You are owned by principle. Anyone can perform. Flashy cars, expensive clothes, impressive titles, all these things can be bought or faked. But principles, those can't be purchased. They are earned, cultivated, and lived daily. The Stoics were not performers. They were warriors of character. Epictetus, once a slave, became one of the most respected philosophers of all time, not because he sought praise, but because he never compromised on his values. Living by principle means you do what is right, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. It means you show up on time, prepared, committed, without needing applause. You honor your word. You make decisions not based on convenience, but based on your inner compass. When people observe you living with consistency, when they see that your actions align with your beliefs over time, you earn silent, deep respect. Not the kind that fades when the spotlight dims, but the kind that lasts. Do you help others when no one's watching? Do you stay disciplined when it's not trendy? Do you speak truth even when it costs you? These are the markers of true worth. In a world full of surface-level performance, the person who quietly lives by their code becomes rare and therefore powerful. Principles don't need marketing. They show themselves through repetition, through decisions made when no one's watching, and through your unwavering commitment to what's right. Let others talk. You live. Let them advertise. You embody. Let your character echo through everything you do. Talk is cheap, results are sacred. The Stoics weren't interested in hollow ambition. They believed in quiet excellence. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." The most respected people in any field didn't tell the world how great they were. They simply did the work over and over until the world couldn't ignore it. When you consistently show up on the hard days, on the quiet days when no one's clapping or watching, you're building something much more powerful than a reputation. You're building proof. You don't need to post about your grind. You don't need to convince people of your value. You need to outlast them, out-discipline them, out-focus them. Every quiet rep in the gym, every extra hour spent refining your craft, every morning you rise before the sun. That's your voice. That's how you speak without saying a word. Let your results enter the room before you do. Let the strength of your resume, the quality of your work, the depth of your consistency speak louder than any self-promotion ever could. And when you fail, and you will, get back up without making noise. Learn, adjust, build again. That kind of resilience doesn't need marketing, it shows. In Stoic terms, this is about living your philosophy. Let your life be your argument. Let your discipline be your declaration. The world may not notice you at first, but it will have no choice eventually. Nothing radiates inner worth like visible self-discipline. Discipline is more than a habit, it's an identity. It says to the world, I am in control of myself. And that kind of control is rare. It's magnetic. In a society that rewards indulgence and impulsivity, the person who chooses structure, who eats with intention, trains with rigor, sleeps with purpose, and guards their time, becomes a symbol of something greater. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Look around. How many people are wasting time, energy, talent? How many are addicted to distractions, always reacting, never leading? You don't need to shame them. Just live differently. Your discipline is your quiet rebellion. It's your power suit. It speaks in the way you carry yourself, with energy that's been earned, not inherited. The world sees it in your posture, in your habits, in your glow. When you refuse the easy path, when you rise early, when you delay pleasure for purpose, you build an unshakable core. You become someone others turn to in crisis, admire in silence, and eventually follow. Discipline makes you trustworthy, predictable in a chaotic world. Not because you're rigid, but because you're rooted, and you don't have to talk about it. They'll notice the way you move, the way you show up, the way you don't quit. You're not chasing comfort, you're chasing character. And that, without a single word, shows your worth. What you allow is what will continue. If you want to show your worth without saying a word, start by guarding your energy like it's your most sacred possession, because it is. The Stoics taught us to keep our inner citadel, our peace, our soul, protected from the chaos of the world. Epictetus said, "Keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern. Not every fight deserves your fists. Not every insult deserves your attention. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Value yourself by choosing wisely where you invest your time, your presence, and your emotion. Say less, do less, but when you act, let it be deliberate. Let it be pure. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't need to prove someone wrong online. You don't need to be everywhere to be felt. Energy is finite. Protect it like your life depends on it, because your life's quality absolutely does. Silence is a sword. Use it. Don't react to drama. Rise above it. Don't chase popularity. Chase purpose. Don't explain your boundaries, just live them. When people sense you don't give your energy cheaply, when they realize your attention must be earned, not assumed, they begin to see your value. Not because you said a word, but because you didn't. Because your time is your temple, and you only let in those who deserve to be there. True confidence is silent. It doesn't boast or demand attention. It is a deep knowing rooted in your values and your journey. The Stoics believe that external approval is fleeting and unreliable. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Your worth is not measured by applause or compliments. It is measured by your integrity and your ability to face challenges without flinching. Quiet confidence emerges from preparation, self-awareness, and acceptance of what you can control, and letting go of what you cannot. When you move through life grounded in this quiet strength, people notice, not because you tell them to, but because your calm certainty inspires trust and respect. Remember, the loudest person in the room often masks insecurity. The quietest person is often the strongest. Leadership is not about giving orders. It is about embodying the qualities you want to see in others. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Show your worth by living the values you preach. Whether in the workplace, your family, or community, let your actions set the standard. People watch more than they listen. When they see your discipline, resilience, kindness, and wisdom in action, they learn what true worth looks like. By leading through example, you cultivate respect without having to demand it. Your silent influence ripples further than any speech. Leadership rooted in humility and authenticity has a lasting impact. It plants seeds others will carry forward long after you've spoken your last word. In a noisy world, solitude is a rare gift. It is in moments alone that you discover your true self, free from external validation. The Stoics practice reflection daily. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations as a way to clarify his purpose and remind himself of his values. Use solitude not as isolation, but as an opportunity to connect deeply with your principles and aspirations. When you become comfortable in your own company, your sense of worth becomes internal, unshakable by outside opinion. Others sense this inner peace and strength. It radiates without a word spoken. Remember, self-worth born from solitude is not lonely. It is liberating. Your worth extends beyond the moment. It lives in the impact you leave behind. The Stoics often reflected on mortality to keep perspective. What will you leave when you're gone? They reminded themselves to live in a way that honors future generations. True value is measured by the lives you touch, the integrity you maintain, and the wisdom you pass on. You don't need to announce your legacy. Live it daily through kindness, perseverance, and authenticity. When you act with purpose and consistency, your legacy becomes your voice, loud and clear without uttering a single word. In the end, showing your worth without saying a word is not about hiding or shrinking yourself. It's about rising so fully into your own power, your own values, and your own presence that words become unnecessary. The Stoics taught us that true strength is internal. It is calm, composed, and consistent. It does not shout for recognition. It quietly commands respect. It does not seek applause. It earns lasting trust. Your presence, your discipline, your emotional mastery, your principles, these are the pillars of your silent testimony to the world. They speak louder than any boast, louder than any argument. So live with intention, guard your energy, lead by example, embrace solitude to connect with your true self. Let your legacy be the echo that outlasts your voice. Remember, the world is watching even when you think it's not. Your worth is always being shown, not through noise, but through your quiet, relentless pursuit of excellence. Speak less, be more, and in that, your worth will shine brighter than any words ever could.